Everyone tells you to pick one framework for your RAG pipeline and commit. So I built the exact same document retrieval system twice, once in LangChain, once in CrewAI, and the winner wasn't the one I expected going in. The gap wasn't about speed or accuracy. It was about something nobody warns you about until you're 3 weeks deep and drowning in your own code. Let me set the stage. The task was a customer support assistant that pulls from about 4,000 internal docs, re-ranks the results, and answers with citations. Same embedding model, same vector store, same chunking strategy, same test set of 200 real questions. I wanted the frameworks to be the only variable, because otherwise you're just comparing your own two implementations, not the tools. LangChain came out swinging on flexibility. When I needed to slot in a custom re-ranker between retrieval and generation, it took maybe 15 minutes. The LCEL chaining syntax lets you pipe components together like Lego, and the ecosystem is enormous. Every vector store, every loader, every retriever you can name has an integration. But that power has a tax. The abstractions stack on top of each other, and when something breaks, you're stepping through 4 layers of wrapper classes trying to figure out which one silently swallowed your metadata. Debugging felt like archaeology. CrewAI takes a completely different mental model. Instead of chaining functions, you're orchestrating agents with roles: a researcher agent that queries the docs, a writer agent that synthesizes the answer, a reviewer that checks citations. For a RAG pipeline, that framing sounds like overkill, and honestly, for simple retrieval it is. But here's where it got interesting. When I needed the system to decide whether a question even required document lookup or could be answered directly, the agent-based approach handled that branching logic naturally. In LangChain, I had to bolt on a router chain and manage state manually. So which one? On raw retrieval quality, they tied, because that's really down to your embeddings and re-ranker, not the framework. But on maintainability over 3 weeks of iteration, CrewAI surprised me. The code stayed readable. When a teammate opened it cold, they understood the agent roles in about 10 minutes. The LangChain version, meanwhile, had grown into a tangle of custom runnables that only I could safely touch. For a solo prototype, LangChain's speed to first result wins. For anything a team has to own long-term, the clarity of CrewAI's structure paid off. Here's the nuance that surprised me most, though. The frameworks weren't actually competing on the thing I thought mattered. The real differentiator was how each one wants you to think about the problem. LangChain treats RAG as a data pipeline: inputs, transforms, outputs. CrewAI treats it as a collaboration between specialists. If your problem is genuinely a linear flow, forcing it into agents adds latency and token cost for no reason. If your problem has decisions, delegation, and multiple steps of reasoning, the pipeline model fights you the whole way. My honest recommendation: don't ask which framework is better, ask which shape your problem actually is. Prototype the ugly path first, the part where the system has to decide something, not just retrieve. That 5-minute test tells you more than any benchmark. And measure maintainability, not just your day 1 demo, because the demo always works and the 3rd week is where projects die. Tomorrow I'm publishing the follow-up where I run the exact same test with a 3rd contender, Llama Index, and show you the re-ranking config that closed the accuracy gap by 19%, the specific settings I couldn't fit here. If you don't want to miss that breakdown, subscribe right now so it lands in your feed the moment it goes live.